Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back. We are back after a long break, a pay-per-view, a long break, a fight night, a pay-per-view, and then another break. We are back, and we're going to get more consistent UFC from here on out, and we're getting another fight night in the Apex. Ugh. Alright. You guys should know by now how I feel about the Apex. I don't like it because unfortunately it allows them to put on main events like this, like Dolidze versus Imavov, when in actuality I think it would probably be the third, maybe co-main event of like a card where they actually go someplace. And I really wish they would go place, like they haven't been to my city in 5-6 years. I don't know. Whatever the case is, it is a fight night. There's some okay fights, but there's also some poopy. But regardless, we're going to break it down. First fight of the night is going to be Peterson versus Jamal Pogues. I don't care much for Pogues. Jamal Pogues, he just has so little volume and so little inactivity to the point where now it's costing him. Marquel Parkin beat the living crap out of him because he didn't do much. The Josh Parisian fight, he looked decent in, but overall, like, I still feel it's going to get to him. Like, he's not a guy who pushes pace. He's not a guy who puts much pressure on you. He is the quintessential Apex heavyweight fighter. Meanwhile, Thomas Peterson, it's going to be his debutante. He is debuting, but he is the favorite. Why is he the favorite? Because, boy, he is the antithesis to Jamal Pogues. Jamal Pogues is not a guy who can just sit there and win minutes against Thomas Peterson, because Thomas Peterson will beat the crap out of him. He will take him down and he will absolutely dominate him on the ground. He has a clear grappling advantage, high takedown accuracy, high takedown defense, constantly going for takedowns. He is just all about the ground game, and he's very good at it. I thought he'd be more of a favorite, to be honest with you, so that's a very good line. Getting him at -100 anything is solid if you just want to take the money line, but the over is very, very good. Maybe doing a parlay of over 1.5 and the money line pick, that is a very solid one. Regardless, give me Thomas Peterson by... I want to lean towards decision because Pogues can be tough. He can be tough, even though he has been finished 3 times. I just don't think Thomas Peterson, being his debut, I don't think he's going to be able to just absolutely take down Pogues. And his main weapons are going to be the ground and pound, essentially. I feel Jamal Pogues can stall and survive. Takedown or decision are most likely. I don't see a submission, to be honest with you, but those are his most likely avenues of victory. But give me Thomas Peterson. Landon Quinones versus Marquel Medeiros. Medeiros is a very, very excellent striker. Very, very good at swapping stances. Very good at just push or pace. Very good overall. I think he's a very solid striker. And Quinones is pretty tough. He's pretty durable. But I think Medeiros is going to KO him. I don't think he's going to KO him with power. I think he's going to KO him by just pure skill and technique. I really, really like Marquel Medeiros' striking overall. Go watch some of his Muay Thai fights. He is a very solid fighter. Give me him to win by KO. This fight's... it's super low level. I'm sure it'll be pretty fun, but it's just not high level of a fight. Lana, Carolina versus Juliana, Sholorenko. Jesus Christ. Julia. I can't say her name. I can't say Julie. It's so weird. Luana Carolina, about 3 fights ago, had one of the worst knockouts of the year. She was the recipient of 2 years ago. Was a recipient to one of the worst knockouts of the year 3 fights ago. Absolutely butchered her. Made her take a whole year off the sport because how badly she got knocked out. And then Julia just destroyed that person, same person last fight, which is Molly McCann, who's fighting on the card as well too. But yes, I think Carolina's pretty butt. She's like supposedly an elite level striker. She has an elite level striking background, supposedly, but I don't think she's very good. Julia is also not that good. You could kind of tell by her record. This is super low level, but I think it has potential for being a very fun fight. One thing to mention is Julia, she has a crazy statistic of just the sheer amount of, I believe it's round 1 armbar she gets. What is it? Armbar. Yeah, she gets so many arm bars in the first round. It's honestly how she got Molly McCann. It's really insane, to be honest with you, how she keeps doing that. And Luana Carolina, she's not a good grappler. Granted, it doesn't go to the ground much with her, mainly just because she fights strikers most of the time. But I think Julia by submission is likely. Something tells me that the round 1 clause is going to be broken in this fight. So I'm going to take round 2, but I'm still going to take her by submission. And I'm still going to take her by that arm bar. Look at those long, lanky arms that Luana has. Yeah, I like that. Jaeyoung Lee versus Blake Bilder. I know Blake Bilder. He's a very touted prospect. He was on the come up. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy's going to be good. And he had one of the worst fights against Cal Nelson. It was boring. It was bad. And then his only other win is Shane Young, who's not that good. Well, the thing is about Jingliang Lee is he was also a really highly touted prospect, and he did not look good his last fight. He won, but he didn't look that good. Blake Bilder is also bigger, pretty tough. I'm going to go with Bilder. I'm going to go with the underdog. I believe he was underdog last time I checked. Yeah, he's a slight dog. I'm going to go with the underdog in this fight. I just can't really think of a method, to be perfectly honest with you. That's the thing that's really racking my brain. It's not racking my brain the most on here. It's just because Jingliang Lee, he's very well-rounded. He can finish it in most aspects. And Bilder, he's our submission or decision. I think he's got like 1 knockout. It's just that I don't see Young getting submitted, to be honest with you. So decision's probably the most likely. Give me Blake Bilder by decision. All right, Grimbo versus Pete Rodriguez. Garimbo's not that good. I know the whole story about Rock giving him a house and all that and whatever. I don't like Grimbo, but he's not that good. His loss to AJ Fletcher was very telling of the level he's at. Yeah, he beat Takashi Sato, but Takashi Sato's not super high level, to be perfectly honest with you. And I just think, honestly, Pete Rodriguez is just a better fighter. Pete Rodriguez, he's not high up there in terms of level, but look at who he fought. Like, Jackson sucks. Mike Jackson's garbage. Then he fought before that Jack Della Maddalena. There's nothing wrong with getting knocked out round 1 by Jack Della Maddalena. Have you seen JDM? JDM's about to fight Gilbert Burns. You went from the upper echelon of the sport and getting knocked out round 1 to going up against garbage and knocking them out round 1. I think we see the level that Pete Rodriguez is at. He is a mid-level fighter, but Grimbo, I think, is a low-level fighter. I don't think Grimbo is really that good, and I'm pretty sure he's actually a pretty big favorite. Yeah, minus 245. That's the parlay buster right there. I don't think Pete Rodriguez is going to be poopy. I don't think he's going to be garbage overall as a fighter in terms of his career. I think he's solid. I think people look at him and look at that JDM loss and forget it's freaking JDM. JDM, I stand by it, beats most of the welterweight top 10. Once he gets to the top 5, I start picking against him. I'm going to take Pete Rodriguez by KO. He's got solid power to him too. JDM's a tank, and he was tagging him with some shots, and then he just floored Mike Jackson. So give me Pete Rodriguez by KO. I think this is the parlay buster. If you're gonna be betting him, just bet him straight. And I like that. Azat Maksum versus Charles Johnson. Oh God. I think this is a clear win for Maksum, to be perfectly honest with you. Charles Johnson, he is a solid grappler, and the fact of his takedown defense, people always try to take this man down to the ground because he mainly fights grapplers, to be honest with you. Osborne, Durden, I believe he fought, Mokaev. He's solid. He's solid in terms of takedown defense, but the thing is, he still can get dominated by a really good grappler. I think Azat Maksum is overall a really, really powerful grappler. Johnson's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's not doing so hot. I'm not a huge fan of Charles Johnson and his overall striking ability. Azat, I think, is really good. I think Azat's going to run through Charles Johnson, to be honest with you. And I think this is just a fight to kind of give a layup or build up fight for Azat before, you know, we cut Mike Jackson. So, or Charles Johnson. I don't know why I got back to the Mike Jackson. But yeah. All right. Give me Azat Maksum by decision. The rematch nobody asked for. When these two fight again? It was back in 2018, was it not? 2019. Yeah, Molly McCann versus Diana Belbita. Yes, many years ago. Yes, Molly McCann is on a little bit of a decrease. Yes, it's also strawweight. Oh God, Molly McCann going down in weight. I don't know about this one. It's hard to say. I do think Molly McCann is the better fighter than Diana Belbita. I don't think Diana is good. I don't think she's good. Got beat up by Karolina Kowalczyk. I can't even say Polish last names. I'm Polski. Not very, but still. But overall, I just think Molly McCann's a more powerful fighter, more powerful grappler. The only thing that concerns me is the decrease in weight. Tentatively, I'm going to be taking Molly McCann on a decision. I'm going to take her on a decision. I do normally like to take McCann on TKO because she is explosive and powerful. The reason why I'm not going to be taking her TKO now is the decrease in weight. I know she used to fight at strawweight, but she hasn't looked like a strawweight in a while. So I think she'll still win this fight, though. Gilbert Urbina versus Charles Radke. I don't like this fight at all. I don't like most of these fights. Urbina's fast. He's good on the ground. But the main thing is he's a true welterweight. He fills out the frame a lot better than Charles Radke. I also think Charles Radke is a little bit fraudulent, to be perfectly honest with you. Because who did he beat? Blood Diamond on a decision? Yeah. Blood Diamond is pretty bad. He's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I don't know why I don't know why I put faith in Blood Diamond one last time. I didn't even said don't put faith in Blood Diamond, but just I'm gonna tentatively pick him, but don't bet him. And I was happy I said that because I did bet him. I know some people did. Charles Radke, he didn't look how he should have been against Blood Diamond. Yes, he won. Yes, he did. But you're supposed to butcher Blood Diamond. He didn't butcher Blood Diamond. It was a competitive fight. Gilbert Urbina is a solid fighter, and like I said, he's a true welterweight. He fills out the frame a lot better, and he's got really good striking overall. I think he's just a solid fighter compared to Charles Radke. So give me Gilbert Urbina, and I think he's going to knock out Radke, to be honest with you. So, yep, that's it. Oh, man, I'm not even going to try. Kizriev versus Makhmud Muradov. This is so hard for me. Kizriev is untested. Yes, he's 14-0, but not against elite level competition, to be honest with you. Muradov is very experienced. He's a solid grappler as well, too. But I just think Kizriev is too explosive. He's too good of a grappler. I think this fight might be, because both guys are solid grapplers, I think this might be a fight where it's mainly contested on the feet because the threat of the takedown, or they can't get each other on the ground. But if it does go on the ground, I'm going to be leaning towards Kizriev. I can't decide on a method. I'm going to be leaning towards decision. Yeah, that'll be my pick. Decision for Kizriev, but I don't know how this fight ends. Viviane Araújo versus Natalia Silva. This is a hard fight. Natalia Silva, really good grappler. Really solid grappler. She needs to focus more on her wrestling. She doesn't focus on her wrestling as much. When honestly, she'd win a lot of these fights by wrestling. Well, now she's going up against a fight where I don't know if her wrestling and grappling is going to be able to win a fight, because Viviane Araújo has never been submitted. She doesn't get dominated on the ground. She got solid takedown defense. And she's a good grappler herself. So this is going to be a hard fight. If it's standing, I don't like picking Natalia Silva standing. She's doing better. She's improving. I still don't like picking her in a striking match. But I don't like Viviane Rouge. I don't think she's that great of a fighter overall. I don't like her in this matchup. I'm saying I don't like her. I don't like her as a fighter. I don't like her in this matchup. I'm gonna be going Natalia Silva by decision, but that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Randy Brown versus Muslim Salikov. This is supposed to be on one fight. I think it's supposed to be on 296. So either supposed to be on 296 or the first fight night of the year. It got pushed back. My saying doesn't change. I think Randy Brown's going to pick him out at lane. He's got too much reach. He's also solid takedown defense, and he's got way more height on him. I like Randy Brown in this matchup. Randy Brown, another guy who got knocked out round one by Jack Della Maddalena. I think he's going to beat Muslim Salikov on a decision. And now, for the fights I have graphics on. Yes, the co-main event of the evening is worthy enough to have made a graphic on. It's honestly probably should have been the main event. I like this better than the main event. I'm sorry. But, oh boy. It's going to be a lightweight matchup between Renato Money Moicano versus Drew Dober. Moicano is going to be 34 years of age, 17 wins, 5 losses. Not a damn knockout to his name. 10 submissions, 5'11 in terms of height, orthodox stance, 72-inch reach, advantage, a 1.66 takedown average, a 50.33% significant strike accuracy, minus 150 favorite. Oh. Significant wins over Brad Riddell, Alexander Hernandez, and Jai Herbert. Standing across from him is Drew Dober, 35 years of age, 27 wins, 12 losses, 15 knockouts. Woo! Most knockouts in lightweight, by the way. 5 submissions, 5'8 in terms of height, southpaw stance, 70-inch reach, disadvantage, a 0.68 takedown average. I'm surprised he has takedowns. I can't remember the last time he even attempted one. A 45.68% significant strike accuracy, maybe against McKinney. And he's a plus 125 underdog. Significant wins over Ricky Glenn, Bobby Green, Rafael Alves, Terrence McKinney, and I stopped there because I had 4. But let's look at who else he's beaten, because make no mistake, he's got a good list. He did lose to Riddell. He lost to Islam, but he beat Hernandez, Hakparas, Reyes. He got beat by Dariush. He beat... Who else did he beat? There's someone else on here who was really good he beat. Ultimate's decent. Because we're in there with someone else. Regardless. Drew Dober, he's actually a very experienced fighter. He has fought quite a bit at the lightweight division. Renato Moicano, if you know, he's actually moving up. Not moving up this fight. He's moved up a while ago. I believe he's moved up about... He's at about 4 or 5 fights at featherweight. I think people are picking Moicano because they're like, oh, he's a grappler. Dober is a striker. And they're like, oh, I like Moicano. Why in God's name is he the favorite? That just does not make sense to me. Because I feel like we're forgetting Moicano is so inactive. That's the thing. He's just mired by inactivity. Moicano has not fought all of 2023. He hasn't fought all of 2023. I know, injury, but still, that's a long layoff. Before that, he hadn't fought for another couple months, and he got one of the worst beatdowns of all time. A 5-round massacre by RDA. My God. It's supposed to be Fiziev. Fiziev had to pull out. And it was why was it a 5-round fight? Because I was on the Colby Masvidal fight. Because initially Fiziev versus RDA was supposed to be 5 rounds. Why was that supposed to be 5 rounds? On the Colby versus Masvidal card. I don't know. Regardless, Moicano subbed in, and Moicano lost years off his life. That was a beatdown. Yeah, he looked competitive in the last round when RDA was tired from absolutely making sure he never remembers what his kids look like. And then beyond that, like years ago, he got knocked out by Fiziev. What is Fiziev? A really good switch stance fighter. What is RDA? A really good Muay Thai southpaw when it comes to striking. It was soft grappling, mainly striking. He just gets beat up. And you look at his submissions, like his submissions are club and sub. His wrestling is not that good. It really isn't. You look by his low takedown average. For that high a takedown average, you expect him to, for that high submission rate, you expect him to have a very high takedown average. That's not the case. Drew Dober also as well is a very solid anti-grappler. He survived almost 3 rounds of Islam Makhachev. And don't forget, Drew Dober is extremely powerful and explosive. His Muay Thai is chef's kiss. He knocked out Bobby Green. And don't forget, he's the freaking Crimson Chin. Unless you're somehow Matt Frevola, you're not knocking this man out. He will beat you and butcher you up, honestly. He will eat you up with those leg kicks and body kicks. He will eat you up with, oh my God, that straight left. That straight left is as the money right there. Moicano is not the money. The money is a straight left. I just don't see avenues for Renato Moicano to win this fight. Like, yeah, he's got to get to the ground. But the only way Moicano gets fights to the ground is by knocking them down. You're not knocking down Dober unless his chin is actually shot from Frevola, but he had a fight since then. His chin held up pretty nicely. Renato Moicano as well too. Like, even though yes, he fills out the lightweight frame still, at the end of the day, Drew Dober is a true lightweight who's been there for years and can possibly even go to welterweight, to be honest with you. Give me Drew Dober by KO. Drew Dober money line is my lock of the night, man. I don't know what y'all thinking, but yeah, give me Drew Dober in this matchup. All right, and for the main event of the evening, even though I said I like the co-main event better, I will say this is a much harder fight for me to pick. Roman Dolidze versus Nassourdine Imavov. This is gonna be a middleweight match. Roman Dolidze is going to be 35 years of age, 12 wins, 2 losses, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6'2" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 76-inch reach advantage, a 1.72 takedown average, a 53.99% significant strike accuracy, plus 140 underdog. Wait, is he really underdog? Yep, 140 underdog. Nassourdine Imavov, he is going to be 28 years. Oh, significance for Jack Hermanson, Phil Hawes, and I didn't put it. It's one of the Dawkins brothers. No, I'm not putting that. Nassourdine Imavov is going to be 28 years of age, a 12-4 win-loss ratio, 5 knockouts, 4 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 75-inch reach disadvantage, a 1.09 takedown average, a 56.72% significant strike accuracy, minus 170 favorite. Significant wins over Joaquin Buckley and Edmund Shabazian. You ever wonder why too that I like stutter read throughs really fast? I have these on my other monitor. It's off to the side. I have to straight up turn around. I don't like turning around like that because it's weird when I speak in the microphone. So it hurts my brain, hurts my head looking there. Weird rant. Okay, this fight's hard. Nassourdine Imavov is plagued with the Sean Strickland issue, which is funny enough as someone who fought Sean Strickland. Nassourdine Imavov has solo activity. He is a sniper. He's really good at picking you off and hitting you from range. He's very solid at that. But you just gotta pick up the volume. You just have to pick up the volume. Roman Dolidze, on the other hand, he's got solid volume. He's got not a lot of power, unfortunately, but he's really good at getting guys in awkward positions where he can get TKOs. Nassourdine Imavov is very hard to get to the ground. His grappling is solid in terms of takedown defense. He doesn't go much to the grappling well, to be honest with you. Like Roman does more than he, and neither guy's really a grappler. But Nassourdine is very good if it gets onto the mat. I want to pick Roman Dolidze because I just feel like he's able to get scenarios where he's able to get TKO ground and pound shots that are just you wouldn't expect. Like that modified calf slicer he had on Jack Hermanson. And Jack Hermanson is a very similar style to Nassourdine Imavov. A very annoying style to watch where they just kind of pick and prod at you for 3-5 rounds, but not a lot of volume and really zero finishing intent. I think that could work very well for Roman Dolidze, honestly. And Nassourdine Imavov as well, too. He's very used to bullying his opponents. His last couple opponents that he beat were much smaller than him. Like Curtis, he was just bullying him. Buckley, he was bullying him. Strickland was a taller guy, and he couldn't really bully him. We saw the fight went. He's got such a frustrating style, so frustrating, he doesn't go for finishes, that it doesn't lead me to want to pick him. I definitely think it's either going to be a decision or a late round finish if it is Nassourdine, but I think Roman Dolidze can do it. I think he can get something on him. I really think he can get some position, something where he's able to just inflict damage on Nassourdine Imavov, and I actually am going to be leaning with the dog. Is this where I finally break it? Because I've been right in every main event for this year so far, which has been 2. Is this the first main event I get wrong? Well, then again, I did get the method wrong for Dricus. I got the method right for Ankalaev, but I got the method wrong for Dricus winning over Strickland. Regardless, I'm still right on the main winner. Is this where I finally get it? Because I'm going to be taking the dog. I'm going to be taking the dog. I think he's going to be the first man to knock out Nassourdine Imavov. There's a potential for submission, but I'm going to go with knockout. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say Roman Dolidze. Hard one. That's a really hard one. I win a lot back and forth. It's just that Nassourdine's style I don't like against Dolidze. Someone who's actually trying to finish you. Nassourdine Imavov, his sort of like pick and prod style, just don't like it. I just don't like it. And it's so funny too because he does have a good bit of finishes. Oh well. Regardless, that is going to be my picks for the upcoming event. Please let me know what you think in the comment sections below. I enjoy any sort of like discourse we have. And once again, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.